30 moments, stupid python hungry with the wrong rival. What happens next? These two ferocious beasts are prepared to engage in a fierce fight in order to have the upper hand in this battle. The python chose to attack the lion first. No matter how aggressive you are, the lion's claws will eventually get the better of you. The elephants were enjoying a calm drink when a crocodile suddenly ambushed them. It drags the crocodile down. Elephants are typically quiet, kind animals, but if another animal dares to take the young, the mother elephant will become quite hostile. The crocodile was unaware that it would have to deal with the consequences. An adult African elephant stomped the crocodile before wrapping its trunk around it and bringing it to the ground. The crocodile perished as a result of the subsequent attacks. One of the biggest snakes in the world is the anaconda, which is a sizable species. Up to 9 meters long and 250 kilograms in weight, they can grow to this length. Rivers, lakes, marshes, and wetlands all serve as home to anacondas. Fish, birds, mammals, crocodiles, and other species of all kinds are all consumed by them in their natural habitat. The standard method of anaconda hunting involves attacking and strangling the target. They exert constant forceful pressure on the prey, breaking bones and displacing joints. The prey is eventually swallowed whole by opening their jaws widely. The lion cub engages in combat with a python around its own size. The cub was initially at a disadvantage because of the python's ability to actively bite its chin. The two other cubs quickly stepped in to save the day. Turning the game on its head, as the python began to coil around the leopard, it appears as though the leopard was victorious in the conflict. But with amazing agility, the leopard escapes, leaping out of the python's reach and biting and clawing it in return. A crocodile has been trapped by the enormous albino python, which is presently carrying the victim to its mouth. To bring the prey inside will take hours. You believe it could eat this kind of prey? With the help of the spines on its body, the porcupine fights against aggressors. The broadcast python has experienced the hurt of these spikes for the first time this time. A series of darts stabbed the gigantic python, which then writhed in agony after attempting to attack the hedgehog. Due to their immunity to venom, honey badgers are deadly snakes, unaware that it was now a honey badger meal. The rock python did not realize how dangerous it had become. King cobras were the python's adversaries. Despite the python's best efforts, the king cobra was unable to be squeezed out of its skin due to the venom's excessive absorption into his body. As its prey was about to expire, the snake hid in some adjacent dust plants. The king cobra and the spotted python are engaged in a fierce combat. Even though they are related, they continue to fight until they pass out. The python's body is slowly absorbing the venom from the cobra bite. Additionally, it held on tight and exerted all of its muscle to squeeze the adversary. Honey badgers have extremely robust skin. They act quite rashly and aggressively. They can take down cobras, and a python is not tough. To capture this valuable prey, the honey badger attacks the adversary. The python made an attempt to suffocate the mongoose with its jaws. The big python's head was attacked by the 15 stivets that were surrounding it and rushing to rend the skin. The python picked the incorrect object. Which the king cobra had to consciously remind himself of. It would appear at first that the snake has the upper hand because it is suffocating him and denying him breath. But as the camera pans over, it is clear that the snake is truly in a life or death struggle. The cobra is clearly injecting the snake with venom after sinking its powerful fangs into his throat. The snake will eventually have to deal with a misbehaving snake. It's only a matter of time. When the movie reaches its conclusion, it is clear that the python has let go of the cobra in an effort to survive. However, it appears that all he can do is ride around in pain. Sadly, the video cuts off before the full aftermath, so we can only imagine how the python must have felt after receiving a cobra venom injection. Pythons are classified as members of the group of snakes called constrictors. These predators apply pressure that prevents their prey from breathing, and when the prey exhales, the constrictor tightens its coils to fill the space left behind, eventually causing the prey to die from suffocation. Because the python can feel its prey's heartbeat, it waits until it stops before uncoiling to start eating. A python attempts to constrict the king cobra, but it fails miserably. The king cobra is not the victim in this fight, it's the predator. The black snake passes lethal doses of venom to the constrictor. Pythons can hinge their jaws to swallow larger prey, typically beginning with the head to optimize the amount of space available in the mouth. The joints in the skull can bend and fold, and the skin is exceedingly flexible, enabling the animal's ability to absorb vast amounts of food without trouble in the end. A king cobra assesses the world's longest snake, the reticulated python, and the snake predator stares at the enormous beast in its presence. It determines that this is not the war it wants to start. Pythons can swallow rodents, birds, lizards, and even mammals such as monkeys, wallabies, pigs, and antelope, depending on the size of the snake. While pythons are not snake eaters, they are preyed upon by semi-cannibals such as king cobras. The python fights valiantly and wraps its mass around its adversary as the king cobra bites on more than it can chew. The two snakes duke it out in a battle of constriction versus venom. Crocodiles readily eat fish and small mammals, but they're not limited to this diet. Some crocodiles will feast on larger mammals, crustaceans, frogs, snakes, and turtles. They may even eat other crocodiles. A snake makes its way to a crocodile-infested river. The python slithers on fearlessly, but it should have been more cautious. A croc goes after the snake, resulting in a water-splashing tussle that leads to the snake's demise. Did you know that all snakes can swim? This ability is not only reserved for sea snakes. Here, a snake casually swims by a ravenous alligator. Suddenly, the gator launches at the snake. The two creatures disappear underwater, but after a while, the bigger reptile resurfaces and the snake is nowhere to be seen. Alligators are successful predators that almost all animals are cautious of. However, it looks like the fear of alligators is not instilled in the genetic makeup of snakes. A moccasin snake lies dangerously close to an alligator. The predator looks at its prey, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. In an impressive feat of explosiveness, the gator grabs the snake's tail and stuns it by violently shaking the reptile from side to side. A massive python was spotted in the Mara River, struggling to swallow a gazelle but later managed to consume it. It was seen struggling to move its massive stomach around the Mara River. At 6 meters long, the African rock python lies in wait for its prey at the bottom of a lake, capable of holding its breath for 15 minutes at a time. It goes unnoticed until, with a burst of energy, it launches out of the water, pinning its springbok prey with ease and constricting the life out of it. The snake then proceeds to swallow it whole, horns and all. It's time for lunch in the bush, and this python is swallowing a gazelle whole. The snake is quite fast and gobbles up its prey in no time. Once the animal has been swallowed, the snake looks pregnant and becomes vulnerable to other predator attacks. Pythons can swallow prey up to 5 times the size of their heads. They are known as gluttons. Detecting crocodiles as predators, other animals quickly rush to attack, but that's not necessarily the end. Crocodiles are not the only losers. Certainly, not every animal can become food. True to its ferocious nature, after a while of probing, the python was the one who took the initiative to attack first. The foreign animal showed the python that it is not an animal that is easily bullied. The crocodile has locked the python, so it can't compose an attack anymore. Burmese pythons quickly became the invading force in the land of alligators. They destroy most of the local animals such as pandas, otters, birds, and even crocodiles. The dense foliage of the jungle, wild pigs roam in search of food, unaware of the lurking danger above. Pitons, masters of camouflage, patiently wait for the perfect strike. Nonsense to the approaching pig, the python launches itself from its coiled position, quickly grabbing the unsuspecting animal with its sharp, recurved teeth. It then begins to wrap its powerful coils around the prey, constricting it tighter and tighter, suffocating the wild pig and ultimately causing its demise. When confronted by a potential threat or predator, pitons have a variety of tactics at their disposal. They may choose to flee to evade danger. Alternatively, they can opt for a more aggressive approach, hissing loudly and striking to ward off threats. In a rare and mesmerizing display of strength, the python confronts the crocodile near the water's edge. The two engage in a fierce battle, with the python maneuvering its muscular body around the crocodile's powerful jaws. Using its size and strength, the python constricts the crocodile, preventing it from taking a breath. Eventually, the crocodile succumbs to the python's relentless grip, marking another impressive victory for the snake. The true testament to the python's strength lies in its physical attributes. Snakes have incredible bite force, enabling them to clamp down on their prey with immense pressure. Ball pythons have around 150 teeth. Their teeth are backward curving, allowing them to grip their prey and prevent it from escaping. A monitor lizard has grabbed a python and is trying to tear it apart. The python is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it seems defenseless. In this thumbnail, these two are fighting, but they look like they're performing a duet at a karaoke bar in a Club Med. The lizard even looks like he's smiling. This monitor lizard is getting crushed by this python, and you can see the python coiling itself around the lizard. In no time, another monitor lizard finds himself in trouble. In this clip, the snake has already begun the swallowing process. I don't know what country this is, but it's not often you find a lizard and a snake engaged on the sidewalk. I think the lizard was ambushed and had no chance. This snake hangs onto this lizard from the branch of a tree. This looks like the greatest trapeze act I have seen in a long time. This African rock python was attempting to enter a home, but when it became distracted by a rabbit, it lunged and attacked the rabbit instead, which was beneficial to the family living inside the home. This cute little white rabbit is this Burmese python's lunch. After missing its first strike, the snake strikes again and kills the poor rabbit. When you must feed live rabbits to your pet snake all the time, it must get expensive. This bow strikes the rabbit hard and fast, and after a few seconds of struggling, the snake swallows the rabbit quickly. This snake hasn't eaten in a month, so I'm sure it'll be ecstatic when it gets a taste of this rabbit. The rabbit is strangled, killed, and devoured head first. This man recently adopted a Burmese python. His previous owner was unable to keep him due to his size, and they were relocating out of state. He named him Scar because of the burn scars on his body, which ran about 3/4 of the way from his neck to his tail. According to his new owner, he's a sweet snake with a cool temperament, but I guess he must eat like all snakes, and his poor victim is a cute bunny rabbit. The king cobra is trying to approach the python in the bushes. Both of them are fighting hard. It seems the venom has been absorbed. The python begins to weaken its grip, loosening against the cobra. Finally, the cobra has escaped the grip. It turns around directly to swallow the opponent with its agility. The honey badger can escape any attack from the enemy. It has turned the enemy into its prey. All it needs to do now is enjoy a super grand feast. No crocodile watches his opponent closely. He was attacked by the python from the water. Well, These two scary animals fight each other. Which side would win? Both of them are in a passive position. They are looking for a way to free themselves. In a swamp, the python was slowly crawling under the water and then to the other side. Just above the shore is the territory of the fire ant nest. However, the python did not anticipate danger and went straight ahead, crawling through the territory of the ants. The great python was defeated by the collective strength of the fire ants, dubbed the legless killer because of its ingenious hunting ability. But the large python suffered from painful withering from the attacks of the small ants. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.